Have you ever thought to run away from your home? Be honest. No, I thought about it. And then I ran. I remember I was in 9th standard, and me and my friend, Sukhdev, after the 9th standard exam, and just before the result, every day we used to meet and discuss only one question. What if you fail? And we knew in our hearts, if was not required in that question. And then we decided that we are living in a very small city, Nasik. And this city is too small for our dreams. Our dreams were big. They were different. And we decided to run away to Mumbai to achieve our big dreams, but only if we fail. And the result arrived. I still remember I going to school and standing in front of the display board and checking my name, P, Praveen. Fail. Then S. Fail. Then we decided to go home and to say mute goodbye to our family, friends, for the last time. I knocked the door, my elder brother was sitting inside. He asked me, Praveen, what happened? I said, no, result is not today, it's tomorrow. I said, okay. And I asked him, where is Mama? And he said, Mama has gone out. Today's your result. No? That's why he's gone out to buy some sweets. Oops. Time has come. So I decided to say mute goodbye to everyone, to my brother, to that cricket bat, to that school bag, that shoes, to that door, to that cycle, to that gate, and I reached the road. I was walking on the road and I reached the first point where we were supposed to meet, my friend. But he failed twice that day. One in maths and then in friendship. He didn't come. I thought what I should do. Shall I go back or shall I move? And I decided to move. I reached Mumbai. I was 14 years old, wearing half pant. It was red in color, yellow t-shirt. Reached Mumbai in the night, slept on the platform, got up in the morning. In the morning, I thought I should work now to find some money so I can eat. So with whatever wisdom 14 years old child had, I started approaching shops. And my unique selling point was, I know English, I know Hindi, I know Marathi, give me work. And they started rejecting me. But one shop, and I still remember when I was standing in front of that shop, the first thing dragged my attention was a red color box, a sweet box with a lot of white color sweet pieces, we call it peda in it. I said, wow, they are looking so tempting. And then I said, uncle, I need a job. And to my surprise, he said, yes, I have one job for you. Now for a moment, I thought I will go inside, work inside the shop, will also enjoy pedas. And then he said, you have, but you have to just go behind the shop. There's some construction work going on. You have to work there. I said, okay. The whole day I was just passing bricks. It's tiring, it's boring. And around 5 p.m. in the evening, I came back. And the first thing again dragged my attention was again that red color box. But this time, there was only one sweet peda in it. I knew my name was written on it. I said, uncle, my work is over, give me some money. He looked at me and said, are you crazy? Today is Tuesday. We give money only on Friday. You have to still work for next 3 days. I said, oops. I said, I have no money. I need money to eat. I waited for 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes. And all these 45 minutes, my eyes were playing between uncle and peda, uncle and peda. But after 45 minutes, neither I got peda nor my money. Again went back to station, slept on the platform. Next day was amazing. Fortunately, I reached one temple where they were serving free food whole day. Life was so cool. I was just eating and enjoying. But then something happened on day 3 which has changed my life. And today, wherever I am is because of that one realization. Day 3 morning, I was standing on the other station, surrounded by so many people. And then I decided to go home. I didn't decide to go home because I was thirsty or I was hungry or I was I was tired or scared. The only reason I decided to go home because even in all among these people, in that crowd, I was feeling lonely. And then I realized that my existence on this planet is not even noticeable without my family and without my friends. At very early age in my life, I realized the most important thing you have in your life are people. And that one value has shaped my life. And today, wherever I am, whether I'm running a digital marketing company, I have a team of 100 people, I love to do this, I'm doing this successfully because I love my team. I'm a mountaineer, I'm a certified mountaineer, I solo travel. The only reason I love to do this because I love to meet strangers. I love people. I do a lot of storytelling, real life storytelling. And the only reason I love real life storytelling because whenever we share stories on the stage, we know there's someone sitting in that crowd who wanted that story more than oxygen. I love that someone. But unfortunately, even though this world is densely populated, there are so many people who are feeling lonely. There's one study in US saying that more than 72% Americans feel lonely. And loneliness is dangerous. As per one health study, it is as dangerous as smoking 15 cigarettes per day. Now there's a difference between sitting lonely and feeling lonely. Don't mix that. One can sit lonely and enjoy life. But that loneliness is painful. One can feel lonely even in this crowd right now. One can feel lonely even in the class. One can feel lonely even in marriage. And today, one of the key reasons why people are feeling lonely is this: social media. There are so many documentations, there are so many studies available that because of social media, it's pushing people towards loneliness. But my question is, how? Social media is designed to bring people together. How can social media drifting people away from each other? And we have to understand this. Because answer to this question is very simple. The only reason why people are moving towards loneliness because of social media is this: social media is powerful, very powerful, so powerful that it can create huge impact on your mental health. And most of the time, that impact is good. But many times, that impact is not good. It's negative. It can cause stress. It can cause maybe some emotional trauma. And that leads to loneliness. Now let me talk about 3 key reasons how social media can impact the mental health. And the first most common reason is this: social media can take your ability to live in the present. So when I was working on this presentation, I decided to separate myself from my office, and I decided to sit here in National Park. And when I was working, I thought, let me have a reality check. Are people, because this is a national park, people were sitting there, they have come to enjoy nature. So I thought, let me see people, what exactly they are doing. Are they really enjoying? They're living in the moment? Or they are busy in social media? So I decided to got up and walk for 15 minutes and take some pictures. And I was very surprised, but not pleasantly, because I saw some images like this. There were lakes, but people were not enjoying lakes. There were trees. There were music of birds, but people were not enjoying that. There were good, amazing breeze, but people were not enjoying all that. People were busy in social media. They were busy in their mobile. There's one TEDx talk saying that people who can live in the present can live far healthier, happier compared to those who can't live in the present. The number one reason how social media can impact your mental health is this: your ability to speak, your ability to live in the present. Number 2 reason. Now be honest, how many of you have already taken selfies since morning? Many of you might have taken selfies since morning. You are very honest. Now, what exactly selfie is? Now, imagine for a moment that I'm taking a selfie now. Now, if I take a selfie now, what is going in my mind? Okay, let me take a selfie. Now, what is the monologue going in my mind? Okay, I have taken a selfie now. I will post this on social media, or maybe on Facebook, on Insta, on LinkedIn. It's not selfie, it's actually sell-free. You are selling your post, selling your image on Facebook free. But is it free? It's not free, because the moment you do that, people will start giving values to it. And the currency they use is social currency, your likes, your comments. How many of you feel happy when you get a lot of likes on your post? But even the reverse is equally possible, right? You don't like it when people don't like your post. Unfortunately, there are cases where people have attempted suicide just because they have not got significant likes on their post. And what is exactly happening? We are giving power to others to decide our worth. They are deciding our worth. And when we get less valuation, we feel unhappy. And when we feel unhappy, it again impacts your mental health. The second reason why social media impacts your mental health is because you lose confidence because you are getting less valuation from people. But there's a reverse, there's another part of the story, there's the other side of the coin also. Now imagine for a moment this selfie which I have just taken, I am posting on Facebook. Now many of my friends, my family, those with whom I have shared my college, school, they will see this. Many of them will say, wow. And few of them will say, is it? He failed in 9th standard. I was far better than him in my life. I worked better than him. How he has achieved this? Why I am not achieving this? And then you face self-doubt. You start doubting your own potential. Because on social media, we don't put our efforts, we just put our results. And when you lose your ability to stay in the moment, when you lose your confidence, when you lose you start doubting your own ability, your mental health is not good. And then you move towards loneliness. So why we should use social media then? If it is so creating so much of problem, why we should use social media? And this exactly we have to answer, that why we should use social media. Not at least for this. We have to first change our perspective towards social media. Social media is there to share, not to flare. Let me use this incidents of my life to put things in perspective. She's my very good friend. Her name is Dipali. She's 100% blind. I met her first time in Indian Institute of Blind in Mumbai. And we were playing a simple storytelling where we were encouraging people to come on the stage and share stories. But before storytelling, we were playing a very simple game where a person has to take or choose one word which represents your personality. And she decided to choose word that I'm a good observer. I said, excuse me? And she said, yes, I'm a good observer. Now this coming from a blind person, 100% blind person, means a lot for people like us who believe we can observe. But very surprisingly, after a few days, I got a request from her on LinkedIn. And the two questions came in my mind. How she's using social media, and second, why she's using social media. And I called her. Now, answer to this question, how, is very simple. She said, Praveen, there are a lot of screen reading softwares available. We can just open that and it tells us exactly what is there on the screen. But the answer to why is the heart of the story. She said, Praveen, I use social media to send hi to people. Now, what do you mean by that? We send hi to start conversation. And what kind of conversation? I said, with who? What kind of people would like to start conversation? She gave me two examples. One is this. She said, she's one of my friend, mountaineer. She's a writer. And she's very successful, but she is again a blind, 100% blind. That is the first use of social media. Because Pallavi said, I want to be like her. The first use of social media is to find people who have achieved what you want to achieve in your life. And then she gave me one more example. She said, there's one more friend on social media. Pallavi is a good blogger. She writes a lot. And this person want to start blogging. Pallavi is sharing a lot of stuff, how to start blogging, how to write. This is helping that person. The second use of social media is to help people who want to achieve what you have achieved. That is the only simple use of social media. Social media is there to share your stories. Now when I say share stories, many of you might be thinking, oh come on, my life, there are no stories in my life. My life is very simple. So let me share a very quick story. I remember I was doing a storytelling event in Mumbai, and there were kids ranging from 8 years to 14 years. And one 13 years old girl came on the stage and she shared a story. She said, when I was 9 years old, my grandfather got paralyzed. His half body was completely paralyzed. And he was always shouting, screaming. And even at that age, I used to feel that why he's there at my home. Even at that age, I was under stress. Then one day suddenly I decided to sit beside him. And for the first time I was doing that. And I still remember that moment because my grandfather, he tapped me on my shoulder, smiled at me, just brushed my hairs from the forehead. And for the first time I felt, he loves me. He cares for me. But within a week, he died. Now the reason why she was sharing that story, because there are people in your life, you don't like them. They are not like the way you want. But still love them, because sometime when you realize that you love them or they love you, it's too late. And when she was sharing that story on the stage, I saw one child, around 10 years old, started crying like a small 6 years old baby. I went to him and said, hey, what happened? And he said, so even I behave like this with my grandfather. That one story has changed his perspective. That is the use of social media. When I say that you should share your stories, not about how much you are earning, because that is not the real asset. The real asset is your values, your beliefs. Social media is there to share your stories, your values, your beliefs, so people can achieve what you have achieved in your life. This is the best use of social media. If you are on social media, find people who have achieved what you want to achieve. Follow them, listen to their stories. If you are on social media, share your stories, share your beliefs, share your thoughts. Because there are people who want to be like you. Let them learn from you and reach where you have already reached. I would like to congratulate everyone sitting here, because we are living in the era where we can connect with people in just one click. Social media is very powerful. Use that. And those who are not using social media, please start using it, because the biggest misuse of social media is not using it. Thank you very much.